Hey guys, Mike from Nerd Problems Gaming here, and welcome to Nerd Problems Gaming, the channel where we go through the good and bad of everything nerdy to make sure you spend your time on the best of the best. In today's video, I'll be doing a review of Undertale. Is it worth it? Does it live up to the hype? Stay tuned to find out. So I had been hearing about Undertale for a long time now. It's just celebrated its 4-year anniversary to my understanding. So it's had a lot of hype over the years. A lot of people talk about it, but I just never really picked it up. And so, it was on sale in, the Switch game store a few weeks ago. So I figured I'd at least pick it up. I've heard a lot about it, and to see if it's really worth it, see if you haven't played it yet, if it's worth playing, and really just talk about Undertale and how I felt about the game. And so if you aren't familiar with the game, basically the storyline, you play as a human that has fallen into the monster world, and basically over many years ago, there was a war between the monsters and the humans, and basically the humans won, and during that time they sealed off the monster world, so the monsters all have to basically live underground and they never get to live on the surface. And so you, as a little kid that's fallen into this monster realm, you want to go home, right? Find a way out, find a way back to your world. And basically the story goes through that journey of you interacting with these different monsters and then going to try and find a way to actually get back home. Now, I really think the story of this game is where this game really shines. It really comes to light. And so I think that's where a lot of the hype has come from, why people like this game so much, is really the story behind it is really in depth. And so as you play this game, you're kind of faced with the different choices of, do you want to kill the monsters that you're fighting or spare them and let them live? And so, for me, I'm used to traditional RPGs, which is kind of what this game is. It's more of a turn-based RPG. One of the first things that you'll notice is the graphic style. And for me, it felt very reminiscent of like Earthbound, if you've played that game before. So a little bit quirky, a little bit odd as you're playing it. But on top of that, as you get into the battles with random monsters, one thing that I just really like about this game is it kind of turns into almost like a turn-based action RPG in a way, but not an action RPG like you'd think. So basically you'll have kind of this hit zone, a little box, and you'll have a little heart that can really float around. You control it in this box. And now each monster that you're fighting has really their own individual unique attack pattern. So maybe you're fighting like a frog, and like a frog is jumping around on the screen, or some of the boss fights that you get in, they have like their own unique abilities and things that happen. So you fight like a spider boss at some point, and there's little spiders flying around the screen, so you have to dodge them, and so you have to dodge webs, different things like that as you're fighting, basically characteristic to the monster that you're fighting. So you fight like a skeleton at one point, and you're jumping around dodging bones, right? So that's pretty fun and unique twist in that turn-based RPG aspect. So I really like that. One thing that I definitely wish there was more of were these battles. I kind of looked at it like a traditional RPG as you play. Usually there's hundreds and not thousands of battles that you go throughout a game. And that's kind of what I was looking at going into it, but that really wasn't the case. And so that kind of, let me feel a little bit down or not excited about the game as I was playing really my first playthrough, was just that I wanted there to be more battles, more experience, more leveling up. When I play RPGs, I like the super long 100-hour games, that are very grindy and you're leveling up, maxing stats, getting new items, different things like that. And that's not really what this RPG is like. And so that kind of threw me off in the beginning as I was playing, because I was just kind of constantly being like, all right, I'm ready to level up, I'm ready to start grinding, beating a lot of monsters, gaining experience, when is that going to happen? And if that's what you're looking for, that's not really what this game is like. And so, on top of that though, that kind of ties into the story. I'm not really going to give anything away, but one thing that's cool is that, the game does have multiple endings. So depending on how you play, if you're treating the monsters nice, you're sparing them, or you're killing them aggressively. It changes and alters the story as you play. So just something to keep in mind as you go through the game. You're going to run into that. And so that actually had me kind of replay the game, because after you beat it, you do have the option to kind of play through the game again, and then you can make different choices. And like I said, that really affects the storyline of the game, different things that happen, different events, what monsters you spare, what monsters you kill. And so that's pretty cool. So I like that aspect where the game itself isn't super long. I would say if I played through everything, different modes, killing everybody, saving people, whatever, trying to unlock all the different endings, probably took me around 20 hours or so to do that. And so it's not a super long game compared to most traditional RPGs, but at the same time, it's not like it's a full price game, right? I bought it and it was $10 when I got it. So, if you're looking for a more super long, hardcore, grindy RPG, again, this isn't it. But what's really cool about this game, like I said, is the story. Because again, as you're playing, as you're battling, there's really funny, quirky dialogue, and even the monster fights are really funny. So like I said, you're fighting boss fights, you're dodging bones from skeletons, there's different monsters that you encounter that are like socially awkward. So if you try and talk to them, they get weirded out, or if you try and hug them, they get offended, or they, are really sensitive, and you hug them or encourage them and they get excited, and then that's how you get past them. So it's a very unique twist on an RPG and how you play. So it's a lot of fun. It's cool to be able to really experience those different aspects of the game. But, like I said, kind of the first time that I played through the game, I felt kind of disappointed because I was looking for that more traditional RPG, and that's not really what this is. This game is really more like a story wrapped in an RPG game. And so I think that, as you play through multiple times through the game to kind of unlock the different aspects of the story, that's where it becomes very powerful. And so that was one thing I guess I wasn't really expecting. After I had beat it and kind of unlocked everything, I almost felt sad, right? There was a lot of emotions that this game kind of brings up as you play through, and that I guess wasn't really something I was expecting to happen when I played, but it just got really deep, I guess, when you play this game. So I think that's why a lot of people like it. That's why I liked it. So I would definitely highly recommend playing this game if you haven't yet. At the same time though, I would recommend definitely getting a digital copy. At least for me, I personally like getting physical copies of games, but after playing it through the one time and kind of unlocking everything, I don't really feel like I'm necessarily going to go back and play this game again. So if I would have spent double the price, triple the price to be able to get a physical copy of this game, seeing that I probably won't ever really play it again, I kind of would have been a little disappointed. So I think if you're, on the fence of getting this game, definitely get it in the digital format versus, finding a physical copy of it and paying, triple the price of it or whatever. But I think if you haven't played this game, it's definitely one that you should add to your nerd library. It's definitely one worth playing and checking out. So again, guys, let me know in the comments below though, how did you feel about this game? Did you like the combat? Did you like the storyline? Are you excited to play it, which I believe is the sequel? I think it's called Deltarune. Let me know if you picked that up. I'd gotten a trial of kind of like the first chapter or something like that of that game, but I haven't played it yet. So let me know in the comments below if you've played that one as well. But what's your take? Let me know your 2 cents in the comments. Love to hear from you. And again, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to smash that like button as it really helps out the channel here. And then also be sure to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications to get the latest updates of everything nerdy, to make sure you can play the best stuff out there. And if you haven't done so yet, if you'd like to help us support the channel, help us pick content and more, definitely consider becoming a patron of ours over at nerdproblemsgaming.com/Patreon. Again, that's nerdproblemsgaming.com/Patreon. And if you'd like to plug into our live streams and Let's Plays that we do from time to time on the channel here, you can follow us on Twitch over at nerdproblemsgaming.com/Twitch. Again, that's nerdproblemsgaming.com/Twitch. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you more soon.